The Sci-Fi Film Podcast. Hello and welcome to the Sci-Fi Film Podcast. Here we are.
Yeah.
Me, Andy, him,
Scott. For anyone that doesn't know who we are.
all kind of Tarzan, strangely. I don't know what's going on there at the moment.
Hang on, you went all strange.
Oi.
Yeah.
You just be careful what you're saying, young fella, my lad. You're not too big to go over my knee for a good spanking, you know. Actually, you probably are.
6 foot tall and built like I am, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, right. So, yes, enough of that kind of strangeness. Yes, so this week on the Sci-Fi Film Podcast, we are dealing with a science fiction feature film and 2 short films, one sci-fi comedy and one horror-esque thing of sorts. So we'll do, well, you know what I mean. We'll do, you put me off now. We'll do what we did last time, which is do the 2 short films first.
Yeah.
And the first film is called Catchers. It's a 2021 film, UK film from Gothic Art House, wherever they are. I don't think we've come across them before. I'm not sure.
No, I was actually trying. I went back through all my notes. It's actually our first one of theirs that we have watched.
Oh, yeah. This is a sci-fi comedy, part of the 48-hour film challenge.
Yes.
Written and directed by Carl Sperling. Well, I seem to recognise that name. I don't know why. It was also written and directed by Adna Leopold Hofstadler.
Yep.
The synopsis: there's nothing anywhere says anything about cast, so I don't know who's in it.
Well, it looks like there's only really one man and a couple of voices.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. Anyway, the synopsis, what it actually says on YouTube is a man is left stranded on a planet. Then in brackets it says yes, like the Martian. And he seeks a way to get home.
Yeah.
Now, yeah. I really like this film. I honestly found it very funny.
Yeah.
It was very bizarre in places, like the fact that they were on the Muller Corner planet.
Yeah. Do you know, the bit that made me laugh though is the fact that they're on a Muller Corner planet where he's digging, they actually show he's digging up these yogurts, and then they say a bit later on that he's running out of food.
Yeah. Yes. It's, the quality isn't brilliant in some places, but I think it kind of adds to it in a way.
Yeah, I think that sort of, it gives it that sort of uniqueness, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of got
a
roughness to it, which is really, really good. It kind of fits in with the story and the idea in it. Oh, I really loved it. I really loved this kind of the straightness of it. It's like the when they're trying to work out a rescue plan for him, and he has to put them on hold so he can talk to his agent. They offer him the one show, and he wants to know if he can do a different show because he doesn't want to go on the one.
Yeah. I do think though that there's a lot of British humour in it. I think that there's certain people who might not understand
Yeah, no,
But
it's definitely of the UK, isn't it?
yeah, I
Uh,
do love some of the jokes that are in it. Though. Some of the sort of like you said, the comments, the sly digs, and well, not digs, but like sly sort of remarks about other things, and like even he says in the film that he said like when he missed or he contacts the other ship and says, "You've left me behind," and he talks to like sort of their command and says, "Yeah, like, I'm here like the guy in the Martian film," and
yeah,
they make references to it the whole way through it, which I think's
yeah.
funny.
And what I love is also the fact that at the end, the thing that kind of like that means that he can't go is the fact that he's in the toilet too long.
Yeah,
Which is
well, it's the typical sort of you waiting all day for something to turn up, and you go, "I won't turn up now."
yeah, yeah. But I was really impressed with this, especially I mean, 48-hour film challenge. That's a thing where they get given a few a few things that they've got to do. So they've got to have a certain prop in it, or it's got to have a certain element that they discuss or something like that. They're given this, and then they're given 48 hours to go from that to a finished story and finished film.
Yeah,
All filmed, all written, filmed, edited, and produced and put out so that people can watch it.
yeah.
And that's a hell of a job.
So I was laughing because I could hear George in the background.
Yeah, George is complaining.
But yeah, no, that I do agree with the fact that anyone that does these 48-hour challenges, or even any of the challenges that put out, because I know there's some to do weeks and stuff like that. But to sit and do this, or to be able to do this film and put out a 5 minute long film, which has got some quirkiness to it and made it their own. But the jokes in it and to actually make it a decent film, I think is very well done.
Absolutely, it is very good. I'm very impressed by it. I'd love to see what other stuff they can do.
Yeah, I have actually done the subscription and all this they do on. Obviously, you can do on YouTube, but Gothic Art has just to keep an update on what other stuff they're doing and have a look through their other stuff a bit later on.
Yeah. No, it's definitely worth a watch. It's good. It's good fun, good laugh. Now I'll have a look at their other stuff later on as well. Hang on a minute. I'm going to go and do something now because otherwise I'm going to end up having to kill the cat. I have strangled the cat. Now I've let him out. He just sits there and moans for hours. The second film is a short, very short film, 2 minutes 24. This is a horror-esque film called The Bunny.
Yeah.
2021 film from Deranged Paper Studios. Written and directed by Zach T. Lewis, who also did some of the editing along with Pedro Ordonez. Zach T. Lewis also did the music. The cast is Alex Kijek and Pedro Ordonez. There's no synopsis to this.
No, I did. It freaked me out. I sat there for ages clicking on the more or less thing. YouTube, so like my computer must be glitched. I don't think it would have helped.
Yeah, well, I don't know what it could have been. Anyway, so
maybe that's why they didn't put one, because even they went. I don't know how to describe this.
Basically, what this is, it's a film about a woman who tries to get rid of a toy bunny, but can't because it keeps coming back. And in the end, it comes back with a minder.
Yeah.
for a short film.
For a short film, it is. I don't know. This is weird. This is another one. It's. I'm torn between it. In between, like, sort of. I think it's very good with certain things that we've done. I'm not 100% sure about it.
No, it was all right. It was quite good. I love the fact that she gets fed up with the fact that she can't seem to get rid of it, so she shoves it down the waste disposal unit.
Well, that's the thing that I love, is the fact how quickly it escalated. It's the fact, like, it first off started by her picking it back up.
Yeah.
And then it fell off again. Which I've got to admit, for a stuffed teddy, they made a very loud noise hitting the floor. And then she puts it in a box, and all I could think of was Con Air.
Yeah.
But then obviously it appears in the kitchen, and most people, for me, I would have gone, all right, I'll move it back. But she straight away just threw it outside.
Yeah, as far right down the end of the garden.
Yeah.
And then
then tries putting it in the garbage disposal unit. And I was like, that just escalated very quickly.
Yes. And then there's this big rabbit.
Yeah.
It doesn't look very friendly at all.
No.
That's kind of where it ends. But the thing that got me as well is the fact that it ends there, and then it kind of fades to the credit screens, over which all you hear is bird song.
Yeah, I sat there. I sat there for the end of the. I sat there for all the way through the credits, and I was like, "Something going to happen?" Because it's just the noises to it. I did like the jump scare that was at the end of it, though, because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, I must admit.
I wouldn't say it didn't get me, but I was sitting there like, that was a very well done way of doing it.
It was very good.
A very odd film.
It is a very odd film, but I really like it.
It's a very odd film, but that's saying a lot for the stuff we've watched.
But the thing is, I think this is the second one of theirs that we've watched.
Yes.
And I like it. I like their stuff in the same way that I like the Deformed Lunchbox stuff, because it's
bizarre.
It's just a bit bizarre and a bit odd. You kind of go, what?
Yeah. But what I do like, though, is the fact that this film's it's just under 2.5 minutes long.
Yeah.
And it does tell such a good story, even in that short time.
Oh, no, yeah. It was really well done. And I think the other thing is, I think it's really clever what people have been able to do with the whole thing of being locked down and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You've been able to meet many people and been able to get lots of people together. So making these films with only one or two people in.
Yeah.
I think people have done an amazing amount with a very, very small amount.
Yeah, it is. It's just like we said before, is the fact, like, the amount of films. I actually thought over the lockdown for not just England but for all over the world, that I thought a lot of the films were going to suffer. A lot of short films wouldn't be made, or there wouldn't be a lot of them put out. But the fact that it's actually gone the opposite way, there seems to be so many films so many more films that have come out, and it's not just been about COVID or quarantine and stuff like that. But in so many different types and genres and stuff being done.
Definitely.
And I love it.
Yeah. We're going to have to keep an eye on the Deranged Paper Studios. It's quite interesting stuff. Okay. On to our feature film. Now, this is a big budget feature film. Probably one of the biggest budget feature films we've done, I think. This is a film from 1995 called Virtuosity, put out by Paramount Pictures. It was directed by Brett Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
Brett Leonard also did The Dead Pit in 1989, The Lawnmower Man in 1992, and a film called Man Thing in 2005. So he's done a few other things. It seems to he kind of had this thing about virtual reality sort of thing. This film and Lawnmower Man are both based around the idea of virtual reality.
Yeah.
It was written by Eric Berndt, who also wrote some of the Highlander films.
Yes, yeah, he wrote was it Endgame, I think it was.
Yeah, Highlander Endgame, and he
also done The Hitcher, which I really like that film. Actually, the horror.
Yeah. It was produced by Gary Lucchesi, who also did Jennifer 8, which is a really good film, 1992. The Mothman Prophecies, which I love. The Exorcism of Emily Rose, Underworld, 3 or 4 of the Underworld films. And he also produced The Boy and Brahms' The Boy 2. Cinematography was by Gail Tattersall, who also was the cinematographer on Ghost Ship in 2002, 13 Ghosts in 2001, and Tank Girl in 1995. So, cool.
Wow, that is a CV and a half, isn't it, really?
Yeah. So, to our cast. Now, all I've done here is I've gone for the main 6 characters, and then I'm going to mention a couple of others, but not really go into a lot of detail. The main cast: Denzel Washington is the star. Now, of his films, there have only been probably 3 that kind of fall into our sort of thing of horror and sci-fi. Fallen in 1998, Deja Vu in 2006, I think it was, and The Book of Eli in 2010.
Yeah.
So, but Denzel's a big star. There are other films like The Bone Collector and things like that, which are very good films, which aren't quite horror, but they kind of
they're more thriller sort
of. Thriller, yeah. Then you have Kelly Lynch, who was in The Jacket, which is a fantastic sci-fi film in 2005. Visitation in 2006. I don't know that film. And then we have Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe, interestingly, has done I can't believe Russell Crowe has never done a horror film.
Well,
he's done lots of thrillers and lots of action films, but he's never done horror films, which I'm really quite surprised at. I think the nearest I've seen him in was probably I can't remember what it was called now. Unhinged.
Yes. Again, no, that's not really horror. That's more.
No, it's more
psychological sort of
thriller than anything. But he was in Man of Steel in 2013. He was in The Mummy in 2017, with which I think is a film best forgotten.
Yeah, the remakes they've done of it. Yeah.
He was also in Zack Snyder's version of the Justice League in 2021, but that was just a piece of reused film from one of the other films. Interestingly, this year, 2022, he is going to be playing Zeus in Thor: Love and Thunder.
What? See, I've looked at something. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's going to be an interesting thing. So we have Steven Spinella. Steven Spinella was in 2 of my favourite films. He was in Ravenous in 1999. If you haven't seen Ravenous, you've got to watch it. It's about cannibalism and it's brilliant.
It is such an amazing film.
And he was in Rubber in 2010. And you know how much I love that film.
Was it? Oh, wow. Okay.
He was also in a film called House of Dust in 2014. Now, then we have William Forsyth. Now, we've already mentioned William Forsyth in our last season because he was in Lava in 2005. He was in The Devil's Rejects in 2005. Yep. He was in the Rob Zombie's Halloween in 2007. He was in a film called I Murders in 2008. Incubus in 2011, Infected in 2012, and I Am Fear in 2020. So yeah, it's not bad. Then we have Louise Fletcher. Now, Louise Fletcher has been doing films since the late 50s, early 60s. But she kind of started off doing sort of drama and stuff like that. And then she was in Exorcist II, The Heretic in 1977, a film that I'd like to see called Mama Dracula in 1980, which is Strange Behaviour in 1981, Strange Invaders in 1983, Brainstorm in 1983, Firestarter in 1984, Invaders from Mars 1986, Flowers in the Attic in 1987, Shadow Zone in 1990, a film called Casa Dagger in 2011, and Grizzly 2 The Revenge in 2020. The other three people I would mention are William Fitchner. Now, William Fitchner's been in a lot of TV stuff and films and things like that, and he's done a lot of TV sort of horror sci-fi stuff.
Yes. I think he was in Armageddon as well. I know that he's in that. And actually one of my very, very, very favourite Nicolas Cage films was Drive Angry.
Oh, right. Yeah. Tracy Lords, who isn't in it much, but she's in it a bit. And Tracy Lords made a big name for herself in the 80s and 90s as a adult actress, more of a type. Now I'm going to say her name wrong, aren't I?
Yes, probably.
Kaylee Cuoco?
Yes. Actually said that one right. Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, Kaylee Cuoco is of course, Penny in The Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
In this film, she plays how old is she? 9? 12.
When this come out, no, she would have. When was this coming out? 95. Yes, she would have been 10.
10. Yeah. So I think she plays the 9-year-old daughter of the woman that Denzel Washington is working with. So I mean, there wasn't a synopsis as such, but what I found on the IMDb thing as a synopsis was, when a virtual reality simulation created using the personalities of multiple serial killers manages to escape into the real world, an ex-cop is tasked with stopping its reign of terror. Yeah. Now, yes. So, I mean, they create this computer simulation to train the police. But right from the outset, or right from the beginning of the film, it goes wrong. There's something wrong with it.
Yeah, they what was it? Denzel Washington's character actually picks it up very quickly about the fact that he, this training simulator cheated his thing to actually learn how to go, and it sort of develops on from there.
Yeah. So he's a cop that's been put in prison. Some say wrongly. He reckons wrongly or whatever. I don't know. But basically, what happens is that this guy who's involved in the computer simulation cons one of the tech guys into Russell Crowe's character out of the game. Yeah. Using sort of silicon-based nanobot things.
Yeah.
And so, Russell Crowe plays this Sid 6.7 and he's made real, and they let Denzel Washington go after him.
They reluctantly
kind of, sort of don't really let him out of prison. They kind of have him on a lead.
Yeah, on a very, very short lead, basically.
And to kind of stop him. I think it's clever that they put in this thing about the fact that Russell Crowe's VR character has got the ability to learn. Yeah. But also that he can, because he's silicon based, he can use sort of like
glass,
silicon from glass and that sort of thing around him to mend himself. Yeah. Which is very clever. It's a very interesting idea.
I was just saying, I liked is the fact that for a 95 film, I've seen quite a few of them. The graphics in this, for when they're in the virtual reality, actually in at the beginning, I thought was very well done, and it wasn't until they actually said it was virtual reality I was like, oh, okay, like he was meant to be fake, and I was like, he was very well done with the warping of the um warping of the walls and some of the effects. I thought was
Yeah.
very
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's just some of the effects in this, I would say, are equal to things that you'd see in the Matrix and that sort of thing. Definitely. Interestingly, I would put this film on a kind of par with something like Die Hard, because it's that sort of film where you can sit and enjoy and watch it without having to really think too much about what's going on.
Yeah, I do agree with that. It's an easy watch film.
Yeah. But I really liked it. In fact, I would honestly say I really love it. I've never seen this film before, and I absolutely love it. I thought it was great, and I'd happily watch it again.
Yeah, see, this is the thing. When you sent it to me, I was like, all right, no problem. Typed into Google just to do a bit of research on it. I was like, oh, it's got Russell Crowe in it.
Yeah.
See, I'm not a big fan of Russell Crowe. I don't really like. Yeah, it always for him, his acting it doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
He is Russell Crowe in everything in the film. But this film, I actually genuinely liked him in. It's very bizarre, but he plays the deranged killer very well.
Yes. Well, that's the interesting thing. I felt that in this, but I also felt that when I watched Unhinged.
Yeah,
he played that part remarkably well.
He plays deranged and psychotic very well. I would say though, there were certain bits with some of the acting. Now I know, obviously, for a lot of them, it was one of their sort of still early into acting.
Yeah.
But it did seem that some of it was a little bit wooden and a bit.
Yeah,
especially for like Denzel, it didn't seem to almost be sort of as good of an actor as he is nowadays, compared to this film.
I just wonder. I mean, it's a very odd film for him to do.
Yeah,
and I just wonder whether it was a kind of something that was done more out of a contractual obligation than because he wanted to.
Yeah,
you know what
it's
I mean?
more one that you could go. Yeah, you got to do all of these films, but you've also got to do this.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. I mean, he plays the part well, but yeah, I do agree with you. There are parts of it where he just seems a bit. I don't know.
I think it's because of the fact that he's, like I said, I've seen a lot of films with him in where he is this. It's the same sort of characters as well, really, but he's sort of this big actor. He's very well done, does it. You'll see him in Deja Vu compared to this. He's almost like two different actors. But
I would say I have also watched For Queen and Country, which
I've been waiting for you to see if you're going to say anything.
Which everybody who hasn't watched that, it's where Denzel Washington plays a guy from a London council estate who goes away to join the army and then comes back, and he is upset the fact that his brother's been corrupted by the local drug gangs, so he decides to get his own back. And Denzel Washington doesn't have the greatest London accent in the world.
No, I would say the part of London that he's supposedly meant to be from is a very unique accent, even within London. And to sit there and have an American actor play,
I'm not quite sure what accent he's got in it, because it's not American, and it's certainly not London.
No,
I mean, I know he's supposed to have travelled the world, but you know. Anyway, enough of that. What I did like about Virtuosity is the fact that it's quite an old idea. The idea of there being like you kind of cop turned criminal who has to be let out of prison, or the cops get him out because he's the only one who can save the day and catch the serial killer or catch the guy who's gone bad or whatever. It's not a new idea. It's an old idea, but it's done in such an original way, and it's done very well.
Yeah, I think this one of the things, the fact that, like you said, like there's loads of times it's been done. I can name on one hand how many times I've seen a film that is exactly the same as this. But to sit there and do that and still to have uniqueness about it, I think is very well done. It just says a lot about the way that I think Eric Burt wrote this. I think it's just because I think a lot of it's down to his acting, but writing. Sorry, but I also think it's down to the director.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Knowing there are other films as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Brent Leonard did. He seems, as I say, he seemed at this time to have a thing about this whole virtual reality thing. The Lawnmower Man and this are really both very big on virtual reality, and it works really well. It works well the way it's done. I absolutely love this film. It's one of these films that you know, occasionally you watch a film and you go, "Why have I never seen this before?"
Yeah, I was about to say I was sitting here watching it earlier, and I was like, "This film's almost maybe feel better. This film's almost as old as I am."
Yeah,
But to sit there and go, "Okay, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Russell Crowe, but I am Sci-Fi," and I'm like, "How have I never known about this film?"
yeah, oh, I know. It's it also the other thing about it to an extent, it kind of reminded me a little bit of parts of Demolition Man.
Yeah,
But not exactly the same as same way, but it just kind of
there were
parts of it that kind of reminded me a bit of that. But no, I would recommend this film to anyone to watch it.
I would say that my biggest thing for a lot of these is the fact that normally they try and do the whole, especially for action sci-fi, which is what this classed as, is the fact they try doing the sort of techno sort of songs, even for older ones. Like the soundtrack on this film,
Yeah,
I sat there, I was like, after about the sort of the third or fourth song, I was like, this is not what I was expecting. I was expecting it to just be all these techno songs, but they were like proper sort of a proper soundtrack to it. And I thought it was very well done. And some of the songs in it as well made me laugh because I'm like, if only they knew how much what them songs were going to be used for when they wrote them.
yeah. No, I mean the music was really well thought out, really well done. And the effects, as we said, the effects were excellent. I'm surprised that this isn't a film that's kind of talked about a lot more.
Yeah,
because it's a really good film,
especially for like talked about nowadays anyway. Especially for the fact that in 1995, a lot of the themes and stuff that they talk about in this film and do, wasn't talked about that much. So obviously, like the kidnapping, the child kidnapping, the murder, the actual showing it as well as like publicising public executions and stuff like that, and the fact that even nowadays there still was a taboo subject. Let's do this in this film. I agree with you. The fact that I haven't heard about this film and sit and have like almost no knowledge of this film.
Yeah, bizarre. Maybe it's us that's wrong. Maybe there's something wrong.
Maybe it is. Maybe we'd spent too much time watching films like Human on Stage.
We're not still going on about that. That was two seasons ago.
I will go on about that until the day I die because you made me watch it.
It's 2 seasons ago, man. Get over yourself.
No.
So anyway, yes. So there you go. We've got the Catchers, which was a good comedy, sci-fi comedy thing from the UK. The Bunny, which was just the Bunny.
Bizarre. And
Virtuosity, which was a really, really good, entertaining film. It was just, it's a great sit down and watch film like Die Hard and that kind of thing. You can just sit and watch it and enjoy it without having to think too hard, without, it's great.
And the fact is, like we said, there's like, there was makeup in it, there was action, but there's no like blood and guts in it. There's no like gory bits in it. There's no like sex or nudity in it.
As I say, it's violent in the same way as Die Hard is.
Yeah, it's all stuff that is either done off camera or done in a good enough way for it to not make people squeamish, but actually enjoyable.
And
It sounds weird.
It all fits in with the story. It's not just there for the sake of it.
Yeah, it's all to do with the film. It's all to do with the story. It's not just, oh look, we can kill all these people. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, why not kill everyone? Let's kill everybody.
Yeah, that would be a film that I think would. I don't know. Just that I would write. I think just first 5 minutes, everyone's dead. The end.
Yes, everybody in the world dies.
There are films like that. They're called zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Everyone in the world dies, but they all come back to life. No, they're all dead.
So yes, so there you go. That's it. Our recommendations are watch all 3 of them.
Yes,
they're good.
And enjoy them.
Enjoy them now, or else, or we will come round and we will shout at you.
We'll come round and waggle our fingers.
If you do not watch and enjoy these films, we will contact secret police who will come round and shout at your slippers.
Come give us stern talk.
Next week, I think we're going to leave off the features. We'll just have some shorts. We'll do 3 or 4 shorts.
I think you meant like the clothing.
The what?
You said we'll leave off the feature films and just do short.
Yeah, we'll just wear shorts. We'll come on the podcast just wearing shorts, nothing else. Maybe not. The
problem is that even if we did, none of the people that just listen to this would ever know.
That's true. As far as we could be sitting here wearing mankinis or thongs, and they wouldn't know.
I think they would, because
I've just made everyone
our voices would be a lot higher.
I've just made everyone feel ill.
Especially for anyone that watches us.
Well, some things like this have to be done or something. I have no idea what I'm talking about now. Yes, so we will. Yes, we'll do maybe 4 short films next week. Some different, a mixture of horror and sci-fi. Until then, may all of your troubles be
green.
Yeah.
May all your troubles be merry and all your happiness be.
What?
That probably makes more sense than anything you were going
to say. And I mean that most sincerely. So we will see you next time. What?
I didn't say anything.
Somebody said something.
Huh?
Oh,
George is back. George is back.
No, George is outside. I know. I shut him out. Right. Anyway, we will see you again soon. Thank you very much for tuning in and stuff like that and things. Bye.
Bye.
The Sci-Fi Film Podcast.